The FCC rule that I've been talking about, that one-to-one consent thing that was supposed to happen in January, did not happen. It's actually been delayed. So guys, let me read to you something. This is straight from the FCC. The FCC has postponed the January 27th, 2025 effective date of the one-to-one consent rule pending the outcome of the ongoing litigation in Insurance Marketing Coalition Ltd versus the FCC. Notwithstanding the IMC challenge, the rule is postponed to January 26, 2026. That's one more year, or until the date specified in a public notice following a decision in the IMC case, whichever is sooner. Guys, this is huge. If you're an insurance agent, if you're in our industry, actually it's huge in almost any industry that has leads involved. Today I'll be going over exactly who this affects and how it affects them, basically insurance agents, and what type of leads, telemarket leads, the lead vendors, the internet, the Facebook leads, the companies that resell the leads. We're going to go over all of that. Oh, and we're also going to talk about the agents that generate their own leads. Aha, that's important too. Please give the video a thumbs up. We do suggest subscribing if you're new to the channel. We're putting out new insurance sales content and final expense sales training videos like all the time. The whole idea of this rule, it was designed so that companies would stop robocalling and or calling people in a harassing manner. So think about it. I'll give you one situation. There's a lot, but a lead gets sold to a company. They resell it to other companies. This is normal. And the next thing you know, you're asking for, a quote for a mortgage or something, for an interest rate. And the next thing you know, a company calls you with a quote, and then another company, and then another company. If it's insurance related, it could be a bunch of people from one company, a bunch of people from another company, a bunch from another company, like every single day. The idea was so that people wouldn't be harassed by these type of calls. And guys, just to be transparent and clear, this does not affect United Final Expense Services because of the way that our preset appointments platform works. It's actually set up for independent agents, so we don't even need them to check a box, whether that law does become enforced or not. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to get a copy of a general telesales presentation script and the telesales new agent super file. This thing's got a bunch of stuff that you're going to want to share with your telesales, final expense, and or life insurance clients. Let's talk about telemarketers and telemarket leads. Now, the thing is, telemarketers tend to buy these lists of names and phone numbers. So now what happens is the telemarketers, instead of, first of all, think about it. Companies that sell these lists, you're really not supposed to sell the list to more than one company if that law was compliant. So now they can keep selling them to many companies, which means basically all the telemarketers can call. The telemarketed leads are going to be as easy to get as always, and also the live transfers. Now, you got to be careful because they still got to be TCPA compliant. They still got to be scrubbed. In other words, someone who's on a do not call list, you can't call them, because if you sell a client who's on the do not call list and they actually buy the insurance, they can sue you, your upline, and the insurance company. And there's attorneys that actually set up these booby traps. That's exactly what they do. The attorneys will literally buy the insurance themselves, and that's when your nightmares begin. With internet leads, it's the same thing. The thing is, a lot of internet leads are the ones that get kind of resold over and over and over. So some companies have actually gone out of business last year. I know one in particular that definitely went out of business because they thought about this law. They thought this law was going to come into place and they wouldn't be able to resell leads. So now what's happening is that's going to still happen. The people that are selling leads to different companies, the companies, are going to keep selling leads to different companies. What about self-generated leads? Okay, so maybe you're, running your own Facebook ads on Facebook forums. Look, this law wouldn't have affected you anyway. And the reason, if you're doing the Facebook leads form, is because you're generating the lead for yourself. So it's not like it's being resold. They don't even have to check a box, even if that law does come into place. So either way, you're fine. Now, if you're using a funnel, or now this depends, with a funnel with automations, this could have affected you, or you're selling your leads or giving your leads to someone else, that's different. Believe it or not, if this law comes into fruition, if it does finally actually pass, you could be in trouble if you actually resell leads to someone else. Actually, you won't be in trouble, but the person that you sell them to could potentially be. So the bottom line is this whole thing has been either delayed or it's going to be completely shut. It's not ever going to happen. You know, there's companies, there's like a coalition of companies that got together in this lawsuit, and believe it, they're fighting it. The last thing they want is to lose this type of a lead. And to me, it's kind of sad because there's so many ways to generate leads without having to flat out harass people. And this whole rule was designed for exactly that, so that regular people, you know, whether they're people buying life insurance or health insurance or home improvement sales, whatever it is, so that they don't get harassed. If you'd like a copy of the basic telesales final expense presentation script that I mentioned earlier in the video and the telesales new agent super file, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. If you'd like more information on our remote final expense telesales platform, where you can get literally 20 to 30 preset appointments per day, just email me at that same address. As always, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now get out there or get on that headset, whatever you do, make sure that you do something good for someone else today. Happy hunting.